Welcome to episode 2 of Miranda's lecture series with me, Miranda. Today we're going to talk about goal setting, building on last week's lecture about putting yourself first. So, last week I asked you to write down 3 goals, but oftentimes we set goals that are really, really big and we don't ever do anything about them. And so, what steps do you think you can take to actually make that goal happen? So, one great tactic that I like to use myself is to take that big goal and break it down. And so that there's small kind of subset goals to get to that bigger goal. So, I'll just give you my own example. Isaac and I are working to either buy a different house or maybe build or who knows, maybe we'll end up with a massive renovation of our current house. I don't really know. But over the last, 7 years, we have been working to get to that goal. Our first step was kind of the debt snowball. We needed to get us financially into a better place. So for example, we don't have any loans right now, with the exception, I have one student loan left that I owe just over $5,000 on. Our vehicles are paid for. We've been working, step 2 is to try to work to pay down our current house mortgage more, so that we were in a better spot and to build that equity up in our house. So the money that we were saving from the bills that we had paid off, we started putting to our mortgage, and then also a portion of that, our third kind of small baby step, was to build our savings up more so that we were in a better spot. So we actually just put in for a mortgage / construction loan at the bank just to see where we're sitting. So they're basically pulling our data to see where we're at, so that we can then determine, what do we need to do next? Are we ready to kind of move to that next step, or are we needing to save up some more money? Or maybe the lender at the bank is going to say, I think your best option is to pay your house down more, or so we've worked that way to a place that we feel that we can actually look into it more. And so we've actually just probably 3-4 weeks ago submitted our information so that we can see really where we're at, and so that we can plan further and set additional goals to get us to that big goal, to be able to do that in our lives, to do what we want to do. And you might have this big glorious picture of something that you really want, but how are you going to get there? So my recommendation is to break down those goals into small attainable goals. Another great example, maybe less intuitive, but I have a problem with Caribou and Starbucks coffee. And so I've tried several methods and I'm doing pretty well now. I have maybe one every 5 or 6 weeks, but I had a problem. I was drinking it every day. I was spending $5 to $6 a day. So I created a goal to basically quit drinking that and not spending so much money, because I was spending $40 a week on coffee. And so what I did is I started okay, I'm only gonna allow myself one on Fridays, just on Fridays, because it was such a habit. And then I went from there to that kind of worked for a while, but it just wasn't sustainable. So to get to my goal of kind of cutting that out and cutting that expenditure down, I decided to make it a reward for myself. So now I'm doing several workout programs, and once I complete a program, I reward myself with a coffee. So that's kind of how I've been working towards that goal. And now it's been 4 months, and I maybe have one every 5 to 8 weeks, depending on what the program is. So just a small goal that I had to try a different thing. So sometimes kind of my next lesson is that you might fail the first time. You might be reaching towards that goal and you start kind of working towards it and you fail. You need to get back up. You need to look at what you're doing and reestablish how you're going to reach that goal. Hey, my method 1 to get there didn't work. I'm going to try X, Y, and Z next. You can't just say, oh, it's never going to work for me. It's never going to work for me. Yes, it is. Put yourself first, set that goal, and set those steps to get you to that goal, and never give up. Never give up on your goals or yourselves. If you believe you can, you will definitely get there. So that is my lecture for today, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.